Oh,
Sorry if
oh,
I'm eating pizza while we're talking.
all good.
Hey,
She did.
pizza sounds awesome on a Friday night.
She did say she was getting pizza earlier, so.
God, it is Friday night. Mm.
So I guess Ed and Greg, I will let you do introductions and all that stuff, and I'll just chime in when needed.
Do you want me to start this off with my
Sure, go
little
right ahead.
introduction I got planned? All right, so we have Miss Lauren Marie Taylor, who got her start in acting by doing commercials for fast food giant Burger King. Played camp counselor Vickie Perry in 1981's Friday the 13th Part 2, which celebrates its 40th anniversary this May. Fresh out of school at Loyola when she got the call to audition for the film, Taylor's most famous for being the unlucky counselor who discovers the shish kebab bodies of Jeff and Sandra before being killed by Jason's large kitchen knife in a memorable prolonged POV sequence. Mrs. Taylor, thank you so much for being here and chatting with us today.
I shall shout because I do not have headphones or anything.
It's all right.
You can hear me.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing super. I've got my pizza. I've got
Right on.
Friday night wine.
There you go.
And so I hope everybody is enjoying their Friday night. And I'm really happy to be here. This is so cool. And sorry for any barking dogs or other things in the background, but it's what it is.
Yeah, I apologize ahead of time too, guys. It happens. So I guess I'll start with some questions. So how would you describe the casting process of the film with you being such, at a young age and fresh out of high school? How was that?
Wow, you actually know a lot about that, fresh out of high school.
I did some research, so.
Yeah.
Plus I read the camp. I had the Crystal Lake Memories book, so I did my homework.
I had that book, but I brought it to an event and so I don't have it anymore. But yeah, it was kind of weird because the casting director for Friday the 13th Part 2 had been the casting director for a lot of commercials that I was in. And she remembered me, and I went in for the audition, and I didn't have to scream, which was kind of weird because you would think that for a horror movie you would have to scream, but I didn't have to. I guess she figured, well, she did musical theater, so she must be an awfully loud chick. And read and got the part without further ado. It was really kind of cool, and it was weird because I didn't know what to expect.
Right. All right. Hang on a sec. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I'll do it this way then. So my next question is, did 12 years of Catholic school have any real effect on the way you approached your character? Maybe even caused you to have any doubts prior to the shoot?
Oh my God.
Great question.
Wait. No one has ever asked me that before.
I want the people that are watching, to get some, information.
That's pretty funny. Nobody has ever asked me that before. I mean, I guess in terms of Lauren, because I was fresh out of 12 years of Catholic school, having to wear a bathing suit around a lot of people,
right,
was kind of weird. And then there's the whole, perfume thing and being a
yeah.
I was like, no, that was for Lauren. That was difficult. So I really had to reach in and go, okay, what would this chick do? And
right.
All right, well, this chick would do this, this, and this. And I had to really just kind of give it up, give the whole Catholic school girl thing up. And that's why it was weird, because when the movie came out, there was no internet, no nothing. So
right.
What my friends from high school and elementary school thought of it were kind of like, ew, you did that? And I was like, yeah, I did, but it was a movie and it was a character. But being uber Catholic school girl, it was really, really hard. And Steve Miner was like, come on, just get with it. And I was like, okay.
Not bad. All right. So it sounds like Tom McBride, who plays Mark, was a very professional actor and a real gentleman on set who you developed a genuine friendship with. Do you have any memories or things you'd like to share about the late actor that we haven't heard about in any of the 100 Friday documentaries?
I'm not sure what I've spoken about in the 100 million Friday documentaries. I will say, years later, because I don't know if it planned or it was because the pool was smaller back then, but we used to audition for commercials together. And then there was a point when I was on the soap opera that I was on for 13 years. There was a point where they were recasting my love interest, and his name came up. And I said, please bring him in. I did this movie with him, and we have great chemistry, and he's hot, and he's stuff, and he's all that, and and he has great lips to kiss, and and what have you.
Right.
And they did bring him in. They did screen test him, but he did not get the part. That's the most memorable thing because I really pushed for him.
Right.
For his lips and his muscles, just all of him.
Yeah, like just reading and all that, it just really did. I got the sense that you two, became really close after that shoot. So that's good. All right. So I read that there was a lot of scaring going on behind the scenes around the set. Any particular scares or moments from that time come to mind?
No.
Besides the scare that evidently made you faint?
Yeah, there was this scare. I'm sure everybody who's going to see this down the line. There was this scare in the what do they call it? Where people sleep. In the cabin.
Okay.
I've never been to sleepaway camp except for this movie. Thank God. I'll never do it again because you can get killed at sleepaway camp if you're at that camp where Jason.
Right.
Anyway, no, I mean the biggest creepy thing was, we were shooting at night, and because we were staying at the actual camp, you had the choice. You could either take a little van back or a golf cart back to your cabin,
right,
and wait for everybody to go at the same time, or you could just walk up the hill. And being from the Bronx, I thought, I'm a tough girl. I'm all that. I'll just walk up the hill. And of course, I walked up the hill, just kind of like. So by the time I got to the cabin, I was like ventilating because I was so scared of anything that was out there.
Right.
Especially the possibility that Warrington Gillette was out there trying to scare me, or Bill Randolph, or Stu Charno, or any of the guys out there knowing that I was just a complete city girl and scared. But I was like, I'm so cool. I'm just gonna walk to my cabin. But the whole time I'm like peeing in those ugly brown underwears.
It's funny you mentioned Warrington Gillette because my next question's about that. One of the topics always discussed regarding the production of this film is the Jason controversy. Everyone's familiar with both Warrington Gillette and the late Stephen Dash portraying the famous killer. Would you say the entire story has been blown out of proportion over the years, or was there like actual controversy on set regarding who was actually playing Jason?
There was no controversy on set whatsoever.
Okay.
When we were there, a couple of the crew guys would help out by just putting the sack over their head and, doing this.
Yeah.
One of them, Jerry, brought me down the steps, dragged me down the steps. Warrington was there. He was the one who had the makeup put on. And Steve Dash was the one who did the stunt. And when we were on set and we went back for reshoots, there was never any controversy that went on.
Yeah, okay.
It all kind of snowballed and whatnot when it came to the whole convention thing, which I was not a part of way back when. I only just started attending conventions several years ago. So.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to know. We can put that to bed finally.
Yeah, I mean, I was there when we were all getting the latex molds of our faces and body parts and things like that. I was there with Fuller and Warrington was there, and he was getting his full, latex thing fitted and done, so that when we were on set, whenever they showed the face, it was always there. And I have personal pictures that have been shared on some of the DVDs about the making of the movie that show
Right.
the process
Mm-hmm.
with Fuller and everybody else. But it was never a controversy on set. That only happened when the whole convention thing happened, which was
Right.
It was weird for me because I was like, I just remember Warrington being Jason because I was not there for the stunt.
Okay. That's good to know. Is it personally? I always heard the opposite, that it was mainly Dash, but then I know that Stephen Dash was a stunt actor. But basically what you're saying lines up to what okay, good to know over all this time. So regarding the rest of the franchise, have you seen any of the other films, including the remake? If so, what are your honest thoughts overall?
Okay, well, I've seen the first three, of course.
Right.
We had to see the first one. I think I have them somewhere here.
I see the box set right there.
Oh, yeah, there it is. And
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes, my favorite, of course.
Nice.
My favorite franchise in the world is Planet of the Apes. The original, actually.
Yeah, I have them too. I have a big box set for like the 50th anniversary. It has like the entire thing. I have one of those. So good stuff.
Creeped me out as a little girl because they show a lot of New York iconic places in the
Right.
And as a young girl taking the trains to school and whatnot, it was just like Grand Central. Those people with the big heads are coming. They're coming for me. And the Statue of Liberty is gonna fall into the Hudson River. So it was kind of weird. But the remake that happened that was supposed to emulate the first, I guess, three, kind of shocked me because I was like, wow, everybody's got such huge boobs.
Yeah.
And they're in your face. I was like, oh.
I think there's like a 15-minute sex scene in that movie or something. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me about it. And I just was shocked. I thought, wow, our movie was all about,
right. The scares.
Yeah, the scares. And the remake, I thought, well, I could never be in that. If I had been 19 when they made that.
Right.
Sorry.
Pretty crazy.
Sorry.
It's all right. All right. Well, here's a non-Friday related question. Mm-hmm. How is it working with both John Belushi and Dan Atwood in Neighbors?
You just made my heart skip a beat.
I have to know. This is kind of a personal question.
It's I'm getting emotional about it because I don't get asked that question often, and
that's a shame.
I know it is a shame, right?
Yeah.
But I always tell I've told my kids when they were growing up, they're all over 29 years old now. But I always tell them, and I tell my husband too, and he knows this because I met him right after I did that. I tell them it was the best time of my life.
You met him on a slasher film, right?
Yes, I did. I met him, on a...
I didn't mean to cut in, but yeah, okay.
Oh, no. I met him on Girls' Night Out.
There it is. Yep.
There it is. So I met him. A fan actually sent this to me. I was so grateful.
Oh, wow.
I met him on Girls' Night Out, but going back to your original question, working with Belushi and Aykroyd was the best time of my life, the most informative time of my life in terms of just genius, comedy genius, and interpersonal relationships on set, and having an Oscar award-winning director, John Avildsen, who won the Best Director for Rocky, having him as director, and Kathy Moriarty and Catherine Walker. But Belushi and Aykroyd, they were so much fun. I was understudying an off-Broadway show at the time down at Cherry Lane Theater, which was around the corner from where John Belushi had been living at the time with his wife, Judy Belushi, who is just an amazing woman. And they would come and meet me after the show was over, and we'd go eat us outside. Sorry, my cat. Go out for the night, and we would go to see concerts, we would go and hang out with Carrie Fisher and
Nice.
all kinds of people, and just go see Adam Ant, and it was just
Cool.
a great time, and go to the East Village with them, and just listen to punk music and be a part
Yes.
of all that. It was just the most awesome time in my life, and a lot of people say, well, did you do drugs with them and stuff like that? Well, I was still that 12 years of Catholic school girl.
Yeah.
And he never, ever, ever did that in front of me, and never, ever offered it to me. He was very protective of me and treated me like a daughter when we were on set and off. Except, of course, there was no curfew going out at night.
Right.
They always made sure that I got back to my apartment on the Upper East Side. I had a little studio apartment about this big. On the Upper East Side, they always made sure that I got home safely.
Very good.
Ready
Very
to get up
good.
in the morning and work. But thank you for asking. They were amazing.
Oh, my pleasure. And I kind of wanted to wrap my questions up with that one. So if anyone else wants to jump on this, thank you for answering these questions and everything. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Thanks. If anybody else has any questions.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone else?
I'm here.
Hi, Lauren. I'm Greg. I'm one of the co-hosts here.
Hi, Greg. One of the co-hosts here.
How you doing tonight?
I absolutely superb. I'm still eating my pizza.
Yay. Take a bite. Enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We did have a question from Aaron. What is your best memory of working on the film, and what was the most challenging part of the film?
Wow. Ooh. Wow. Not prepared for any of these questions. It's awesome. I think my best memory is, God, there are two, actually. One was the scene where I come out of my cabin and Tom McBride / Mark is going down the hill with a wheelchair, and I ask him if he needed help, and then we go down, and of course they cut up that scene a little bit, but when we were filming it, we got all the way down, and there's Stu Charno and Amy, and I think Amy was in that scene, where Stu Charno tells a joke from the lifeguard stand, and I ad-libbed "your face." That was one of my favorite scenes because Steve Miner just kind of left it, because he asked a joke and I just went, "your face," which was very
Love it.
fun. Yeah, and then the other scene was when I offered the video games to Mark, Tom McBride / Mark,
Mhm.
and Marta Kober came in, and of course Bill Randolph was there, and he was part of the scene with the arm wrestling, and Marta Kober came in and she just kind of insinuated herself because we were all very friendly, and it was just so adorable when she did that, and took him away. That was one of my favorite scenes to shoot because I actually had a crush on Bill Randolph when we were filming it. So when she did that, I was pea green with envy, but I couldn't show it. I just had to kind of like go, raise the eyebrows and look at Tom McBride, but inside I was like, shit, I wish that was me doing that because I had such a huge crush on Bill Randolph.
Nice. All right. So I'm surprised this hasn't been brought up yet. What about, 1 Degree of Kevin Bacon for you? What was it like working with Kevin?
That's the off-Broadway show that I was understudying. 1 Degree of Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon, for years after that, we would see each other in the train, usually at Columbus Circle, because we would always be switching and going to various jobs and apartments. And for years, hey, don't eat the pizza. My dog is eating my husband's pizza. Sorry.
Okay.
Felix, don't eat the pizza. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, so the 1 Degree of Separation, it lasted for many years because we would see each other on the train, and then we were all having kids, and we would take the same train, and it was just, we were always seeing each other. There's also a 1 Degree of Separation with Alec Baldwin, because I would see him at fundraisers for Broadway shows, and we had kids at the same time who were the same age. So there's that too. So I don't know if you're an Alec Baldwin fan, but
Of course.
1 Degree of Separation now with that. But yeah, so Kevin and I would run into each other all the time, and it was kind of cool because we, kids.
So here's one that I was actually thinking of, and Aaron also just asked this. Did you, the crew, did any of you have any idea what an iconic thing Friday the 13th would become?
No, not in a million years. We had no idea. None. That's why years later I was walking down Madison Avenue. My daughter was at a tap class in the city, and my phone rang. Like, oh, who's this? And it was like unknown number, but it was California or Vegas or something. And I answered, and I was, hello? Hey, Lauren. Like, yeah, who's this? He goes, it's Warrington. Yeah, what's up? Are you in the city right now? I said, yeah, why? He goes, come over to the Javits Center. I said, why? He goes, haven't you ever done a convention before? I said, for what? No. And so that's how that kind of happened. I had no idea that it was this huge thing. I knew that movies had come out, but I didn't know how much everybody was invested with it and loved it and loved our characters so much. So I'm really just grateful to everybody for, just really sticking with us through all these years and enjoying it and getting the box set. And it's just really cool. Thanks.
How did it, have you watched part 2 on your new box set yet?
No, I'm really weird. I'm so weird. I still have it closed. I just didn't want to open it yet. I didn't want my kids or their fiancés or their spouses, to go, oh, I'll just borrow one of these, because I'm like, no. And they come over and they're like, Mom, you haven't opened it yet. I'm like, it's like sacred to me to have a box set. And yeah, it's just sacred to me. I don't know.
Oh, I understand that feeling all too well. I will say the transfer on 1, 2, and 3 is phenomenal. They look stunning.
Okay.
That 4K look, man. That 4K transfer is top notch.
Yeah, it was. 2 more questions. One, if the movie was remade today, do you have anyone who you would like to see play Vickie?
Parker Posey.
Oh,
Because I would want her to be just so angst-ridden and just really angst-ridden, like, the one
Best answer ever.
I needed that chuckle tonight. Thank you.
Yes.
Who else? Who do you keep in touch with from cast or crew?
Basically, Warrington, of course, and Bill Randolph. Occasionally, John Fury and Amy Steele and Marta. Occasionally, Kirsten Baker, and Russell Todd, and that's pretty much all of us. Yeah.
Nice. We have one more come in. Other than part 2, what is your favorite?
Of all the
Fridays.
I mean, I'm a purist. I actually like part 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I do like. I'm a purist.
Nice. Hey, we all have our opinions, and they're all valid.
Yeah, and also in it, so.
Who else has any questions? All right, I have one for you. What's the most unusual thing you've had signed or have been asked to sign at a show, at a con?
The brown underwear.
Oh man.
Now the question. I'm going to jump in here. I'm gonna jump in, and Ed's chuckling because he figured me out.
Yeah.
Is this the brown side on the back end, or the whole underwear was brown?
The whole underwear was brown. Listen, I mean, I think I signed the back of the underwear for that. I'm not sure which convention it was at, because I've only done, like I say, I've done a few of them. But that was the most unusual thing I've signed. I've looked for satin brown underwear to, maybe do as a giveaway. I can't find them anywhere. I can find brown cotton underwear. If people want me to do a giveaway for that, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram and I'll do that. Yeah, it was the brown underwear. It was kind of weird. I actually screamed, like a horror movie scream when I saw it. I was like, no! You know,
I'm actually checking Amazon. I found a string bikini in satin and brown.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, stop lying. That was in your drawer.
No, that's not my style. I'm black.
Dude, listen, I was so appalled by that underwear that I actually have the most beautiful collection of underwear anybody will ever see in their lives. Beautiful underwear. Just saying.
Can
I
I?
got
You
a
know what?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since we're talking conventions now, do you have a favorite convention or a favorite convention memory?
Oh wow. Wow. I had a really good time at in Tampa Bay. I had a really good time there because I met a lot of wrestling guys and
Yeah,
met the dudes who make the coffee and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. And in Indianapolis, right?
I
Gen
think it's
Con
Day
and
of the Dead, Day of the Dead, or something like that.
No, not Day of the Dead.
Gen Con?
Oh gosh.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Whorehounds.
Horrorhound.
Yeah, Horror Hound. Yeah, Horror
That
Hound.
was a lot of fun. Bay of Blood and Horrorhound were a lot of fun. You know, I mean, I love Monster Mania. It's a huge convention, but I
That's
really
where we're from. Monster Mania is local here.
Oh, see, yeah, yeah. Monster Mania is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for me because then I troll around during my break and look for people that I'm a fangirl of, and that's a lot of fun. Bay of Blood was fun because it was small and you just got to meet a bunch of the guys, you know, the wrestling guys and the coffee guys. It was just a lot of fun. And then, you know, of course, in Indianapolis, that was, you know, the twins from, you know, The Shining were there, and you know, Father Evil was there. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I actually want to go grab something that I think you might appreciate. I'll be back in 1
Do
second.
I have to put my glasses
Yeah,
on?
I just found something.
See, here we go. I need my glasses.
It's your brown. It's the infamous underwear.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Yeah, I'll pull back.
That's what most that's what she tells most guys. I'll pull back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad you said it, not me.
ew.
12 years Catholic school, can't say that. Oh my god.
So this was a project of mine early into lockdown.
That's awesome.
So this one was about 30 hours. Each rhinestone is hand glued on with a toothpick. So when we do get back to shows, I want to take it to the shows and get people from each flick to sign the inside on it.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
That's
crazy.
badass.
Yeah, it is, totally.
Are you doing any signings, or can people get a hold of you while we are not doing that many shows at this time?
Yeah, I've had a few people send me messages on Instagram. You know, Lauren Marie Taylor, one. That's actually me. I'm sure people know that. Yeah, if they DM me, you know, I give them a selection to choose from and how to Venmo me. And I just sent out some today, which was nice. And usually I'll throw in like a little bonus for free, which don't tell anybody, but I hope the person I sent it to today is not watching because it's a surprise. I like to send like a little bonus.
Oh, that's sweet.
For free, yeah.
And hearing you talk about New York, I want to go back down to like St. Mark's Place. I haven't been to New York in 2 years. Stupid COVID. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
It is. It is. Yeah, I haven't been to the city since I visited my mother for her birthday in August.
So where are you at now, Lauren?
I live in northwestern New York State.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I know I post pictures on Instagram of me hiking and whatnot after having knee surgery.
Question.
I'm dicey. But it is. It's nice up here. The dogs get a lot of exercise, and yeah, so do I. Sort of.
Yeah, why not? David, you want to ask a question quickly?
Yes. Hey, Lauren, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi. Well, I've been watching these Friday the 13th movies, and my favorite is Friday the 13th Part 2.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And and I want to know what I want to know what were you running for when Jason was after you?
What am I running? Oh my gosh. When he was, after me, I wanted to run. Um, it was weird because I even had a discussion with Steve Miner at the time. And I said, why doesn't she just run out of the room? Why doesn't she just get out of there? And he said, you have to be in complete shock and just screaming and just realize you're not going anywhere. Your best friends are impaled in that bed, like that. And you just have to be so in shock that you can't move. And yeah, I didn't run. I wanted to run, but I didn't run as fast as I probably could have.
Yeah, I watched all the films and I love you in it.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Let's see, did we have any other questions in the chat window? Frank, you got anything?
I didn't see anything pop up.
Frank, you should get good stuff.
I don't have a specific question, but it's just nice to see her again because I think I posted a picture in the group. I got to see you in camp in August when you and Bill were there.
Oh yes, and weren't we around the head?
The head, yes, the head prop. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that was us. Yes, of course I remember that. And we took a fun picture, and then
yeah,
we took another picture too, right?
Yeah, well, there was a couple. Yeah, there was a few.
Yeah, that was fun. That was such a nice event at Camp Crystal Lake in Blairstown. Back when was that? Was that back?
It was August.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were Bill and I were really happy to be there, and I remember you. Yeah,
it was really a lot of fun. It was nice.
Did I do the scream for us then?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. If I knew how to share the video, I would share it, but it was I got a video of you screaming.
Yeah, that was fun.
I did have one last question. What was the audition process like? Any screen tests? Any, how many audition rounds did you go through? That sort of thing.
It was pretty easy. Like I said, I knew the casting director, or she knew me from casting me in different commercials. And so when it came up, I don't know why, but I hadn't done any screaming in any voiceovers or anything. I was singing a lot for jingles. So she knew I could sing. So I guess if you can sing, you can scream. I don't know. Obviously, in my case, you can. But yeah, I mean, I went in and I read for the role. They had, the old, VHS type of cameras or whatever it was back then, just videotaping you. And you basically read with the casting director. And I never heard from them. The next thing I heard, not long after that, was from my manager at the time. And they said, you booked the movie. And I said, okay, now what? And the rest is what it was.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was funny because a lot of people think that when we shot the movie that we slept in a hotel nearby, which there was none as far as I could tell. But we actually slept in the camp, and it was pretty cold as the season went on and we started to get towards late August. It got cold, and then when we were brought back for reshoots in early fall, oh my gosh, it was freezing. Yeah, it was pretty cold.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, does anybody else have any questions?
Well, I just wanted to see, because I know you mentioned the Instagram, but is that the best place for people to find you?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't go on Facebook a whole lot. I mean, I there's just so much to keep track of on Facebook with everything else. And with my family, I tend to just keep track of them, on my phone, just calling them and whatnot. So I don't really go on Facebook a whole lot. So Instagram is really where everybody can get in touch with me and message me or, tag me in something, and I'll usually respond within a day or so. Sometimes I'll take the weekend and not go on Instagram at all, or take a couple of days if I'm doing animal stuff around here because we have a menagerie here. It's a zoo up here in our house and outside our house. So, you know, if I'm busy with that, it'll take me a day or two to get back to you. But yeah, the Instagram is the best way to get in touch with me.
And have you preheated your oven to 425 or 375 to reheat your pizza?
No, it's still sitting here, and I've got one of my dogs. I've got one of my dogs waiting, just waiting for the crust.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I've got the other dog, got 6 cats, got the raccoon outside, we've got the deer, we've got the possums. Yeah, we've got a whole menagerie out there that we, you know, kind of take care of. And the 3 stray cats. Yeah.
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And if anybody else has any questions, let me know. I'm here for a few more minutes. So.
Ed?
No, I asked everything I wanted to ask. Thank you again for
Hold on.
taking my
Yeah, we
question.
got one. We do have one more.
Here we go.
Mr. Ray, come on up.
All right. Hi, Lauren. My name is Ray. I just wanted to say this is just a compliment. Great acting skills on set of Friday the 13th Part 2. Just wanted to compliment on that.
Thank you, Ray. I really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
If we do have you for another minute,
Uh-huh.
do you still watch any horror, or do you stay away from it? Do you watch modern stuff at all, or do you think the 80s were the peak?
Okay. I watch House on Haunted Hill, Bly Manor, Midsummer. I just watched that one again.
Midsummer's a favorite.
What'd you think? Midsummer's amazing.
I think that was my 4th time watching it.
I saw.
Have
it
you gotten
5
the
times in
director's
theater.
cut?
Yes, I did see the director's cut.
I bought it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's
It's something.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
It's great. I mean, obviously, I watch all the, you know, Contagion type of movies. Insidious, love those. All the Conjuring, anything having to do with ghosts, because we live 1 degree of separation away from a burial ground that somebody built a house on. So there are things that happen on our security system that are a little bit weird. So I'm really into the whole possession, ghost things. Love the Exorcist movies. You know, you can name a few and I'll say yes or no to them.
How about Stigmata?
Stigmata.
God. You're killing me. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
What was
Sinister.
Sinister?
Sinister.
Sinister. Oh, yeah. Yep. Got that one. Yep. I should have brought them all out.
So it sounds like we're going to have to, once COVID's over, head up to upstate New York and have a movie marathon.
Yeah, really. Put out a big thing outside.
Projector, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. I mean, I have not done a movie marathon here. I mean, we've done horror movies, obviously, amongst us, but we haven't really done like a big, well, we can't because we're not allowed to have more than 10 people at the house.
How do you feel about remakes in general, or do you think the remakes, just because of brand recognition, are not giving up-and-coming talent a chance to take a stab at something? No pun intended.
I like that. I think remakes are okay. It's okay. I think if you inject a backstory that wasn't in the original, or some other kind of psychological thing that wasn't in the original for the main character, for, you know, the killer character, or, you know, the final girl, if you will, or the final guy, then I think a remake is okay for that. But you have to really bring in some other element to elevate it and to make more of a backstory, like where did this really come from? It's not just like, you know, oh yeah, he drowned. What more happened? You know, did Mrs. Voorhees beat the shit out of him? You know, was he abused by the non-existent dad? You know, what else happened? You know, I'm just saying in terms of, you know, Voorhees, obviously. But yeah, remakes can be good if you really push a backstory.
See, for me, I know we talked a little bit about the remake of Friday the 13th, and when I got my box set, I tore that puppy open. It's like, okay, I'm doing, one to two movies a night. I thought the first 30 minutes of the remake was phenomenal, and then it just went sideways. They had the intensity right. It was a nice blend of parts 1, 2, and 3, and then it was just like, well, what was the point of the rest of it?
Yeah, once he got the hockey mask, it was over for me. Sackhead Jason all the way.
Yeah, Sackhead Jason all the way. Have you guys seen the American Horror Story? Was it 1984?
4.
Is 84.
Yeah, have you seen that? Because they bring in all kinds of Jason stuff into that.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't. I gave up on that series after the 3rd or 4th season, but if you recommend it, I'll check it out.
I would. You know what? I started to watch it, and I thought, oh no, what are they doing? What are they doing? And then I thought, you know what? I have to watch it because it's obviously an homage to our movie.
Right. Right.
Yes.
And I don't want to give anything away, but the circumstances are very similar in the very beginning.
Okay.
Of what happens, and so I had to give it. I have not rewatched it. Usually, I'll rewatch my favorite stuff. I have not rewatched that particular season yet.
Ooh, I have one for you. You made me think of one. Have you seen The Final Girls?
No.
Yes.
No.
All right, you need to watch The Final Girls. I won't give any spoilers away, but it is a complete nod to Friday the 13th and the genre in general, and it's done in such a clever, unique, mind-bending way that you'll be laughing and giggling and appreciate, I think, all of it. It is phenomenal.
I shall check it out.
I'll second that. It's a great movie. I forgot about that. That's a good one.
All right. Okay, so it's a movie, not a series, then.
It's a movie.
Came out about 5 years ago.
Oh wow, I never heard of it. That's so weird.
I'll shoot you a message on it.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Jonathan, how are we doing on time?
We got a couple more minutes before our last guest of the day comes in, so we can keep the conversation going.
I got something that's been on my mind since we've been talking. What is that? What is that Leonardo DiCaprio thing behind you?
It's not brown underwear, is it?
No,
It's the meme. It's the meme. But what is it?
It's DiCaprio from Django Unchained.
Okay, so I've been obsessed with the
meme.
DiCaprio memes.
Yes.
And, I mean, just obsessed. And I actually have one that I'm going to do. I haven't done it yet because I don't have the cojones to do it yet. But it's with a piece of jewelry that someone gave me at a convention. That's all I'm going to say. But I wanted to use the meme in that. But anyway, so I follow
What is it?
I follow all the. Okay, so it's a pillow.
I thought so. Okay, cool. All right, nice.
Okay, so it's a pillow of the Leonardo DiCaprio meme and I follow them. And my older daughter, got me a mug, the pillow, and a Christmas with this on it.
That is so awesome.
Isn't that fun? It's one of those funny pillows that go up and down. Anyway, yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I'd be curious to know, though, if we have any doctors in the room, because she said if she didn't have any cojones. If she found some cojones, I'd want to have that checked out professionally.
Cojones.
I'm from the Bronx. I definitely have cojones.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
How long did you live in the city?
I grew up in the city. I grew up in the Bronx. I lived there in the South Bronx until I was in 8th grade. And then when I went to high school, we moved to Brooklyn. And then after I graduated from high school, I went to college and then moved to the city when I was in college.
So did you know Jenny from the block, or?
No, but it's so funny because I am from the Bronx and I am truly a Bronx girl. And when I was teaching, I taught first grade for 10 years. And when I was teaching, a lot of times the parents would come in because I was teaching in East Harlem. And then I helped open up a sister's school in the Bronx. And a lot of the parents come in, they kind of look at me and they think, oh, who's this, girl? She looks like she's from Ohio. And I tell them, I go, okay, so just so you all know, I grew up on 149th Street and Prospect Avenue in the Bronx. And the jaws just drop open. And I say, so I've slept on the fire escape. I've eaten food from bowls that have had cockroaches living in them. And I'm one of us, one of you, being from that, place.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That got them on my side because it was true. And I could speak to living that life.
And you would notice just as well, I'm a Philly guy, you're a New York City guy, or girl, I should say,
Yeah.
excuse me, that we people from the Northeast smell out when you're real or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We have a nose for that kind of stuff.
Lauren, did you have a favorite park in the city that you like to spend time in the summer?
Oh, well, when I was in the city, Central Park. When I was in the Bronx, Prospect Park. When I was in Brooklyn, Prospect Park. And when I was in the Bronx, the park that was right outside the projects.
Nice.
And the sprinkler, when we used to the fire hydrants, we'd open up and, playing stickball and going to Yankee Stadium. I actually went to the last game in Yankee Stadium, in the old stadium.
Oh, cool.
Ran onto the field and got my patch of grass and saved it in one of those little glad bags, that you flip over, those little plastic bags. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yep.
So I think we will
Go ahead,
have to
Jonathan.
call. I think we will have to call there. So make sure everybody visits Lauren Marie on Instagram, as she has mentioned. And looking forward to having a full-length conversation with you for the show when we can.
Yep, we can do that. Where are you guys located, by the way?
I'm in Philly right now.
I'm in Baltimore.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
DC.
Wow, all over.
Northeast represent.
Yeah, for real.
And
Once
we've
you
had,
visit,
with these things, we've had people from Ireland to Australia to
oh, yeah.
Germany, all over the place. So
Very cool. Thanks for having me.
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
This was a treat.
No, this
New
was great.
Mexico. Don't forget New Mexico with Ray. He'll appreciate
Right.
that.
Yep, have some New York pizza.
West Coast shout out.
Yes. Enjoy your pizza. Have a good
Thank
night.
you, Lev.
Have a
Good
good
night.
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.
Hello.